Well, I'm back at it again. Kindness dreams, discrimination. The sound of rain filled the village. The steep cliffs that surrounded the area magnified sound, causing even the slightest drizzle to rattle like a thunderstorm. Then wisps of smoke streamed from huts as the villagers huddled in their homes and waited out the rain. A single child, however, had braved the downpour. It was now wandering slowly toward the wooden hawk-shaped weather vane at the center of town. The wanderer reached the vane, which had existed for as long as any could remember, and stared. The child's face was simultaneously delicate and fierce, like a teacup that had survived a shipwreck. Those traits combined with the pale white skin to give the face an almost sexless quality. If the beak turns east, I go home. If it stays west, then I... The child blinked. Rain slowly dripped down the young one's short hair and began its long descent to the ground. Come on. Come on! The child felt a slight breeze and watched as the vein slowly creaked to life. Spinning this way and that for a moment, it finally settled with the beak pointing firmly toward the east. East? Really? Before the vein could move again, a jagged rock came spinning and tumbling through the air, striking home against the child's head. The force of the blow dropped the child to the ground as a hail of stones began to fall all around. Oh no, they found me. A heartbreaking smile crept across the child's face as the stones continued their assault. Through the rain, the sound of multiple footsteps grew louder before a voice rang out. Yoo-hoo, Kaine! The voice belonged to Demo, worst of all the bullies in the area. As Kaine struggled to stand, a vinyl stone came skittering through the mud and bounced against her foot. Blood oozed from above her eye and blurred her vision, but she could make out the shapes of Demo and his usual gang of idiots. The boy seemed taken aback for a moment by Kaine's seemingly indifference to the blood dripping from her face, but quickly regained his bravado. What's up, freak? You like the rain? You like getting all wet? Or did you finally decide to run away from home? Though she knew it was futile, Kaine turned to leave. Before she could get more than a few steps, the other child scrambled to surround her, cruelty burning in their eyes. Kaine knew those weren't not the only eyes on her. The tormentor's parents watched from the safety of their homes. She was attuned to the sensation. It was one she had experienced many times before. While some villagers simply turned a blind eye to the actions of their children, very many encouraged it openly. In a society ruled by superstition and fear, Kaine was something to be hated, and if possible, destroyed. I didn't say you could leave, freak. Demo's words chewed at her like a warmth in an apple. You can't hurt me, she lied to herself. Be strong, be brave. You can't hurt me, he can't hurt me, he can't... Oh look, the little freak is gonna cry. What's wrong? Are you sad that everyone hates you and wants you dead? Kaine prayed for the rain to flood down and carry her away from a world that seemed to have no place for her. But if there were gods, they chose to ignore her. As Demo creeped ever closer, the clouds began to thin and the rain slowed. Even the weather hates me. I'm useless. A failure. I wish Demo's rock had taken my head off. Kaine could not meet Demo's leering gaze. She lowered her eyes and stared at the muddy ground below. The bully moved forward until he was inches away. She could smell the scent of old meal on his breath. The boy grabbed Kaine's face with thick fingers and yanked it upward. She tried to turn away, but he forced her gaze back and jammed his thumb against her eyelid to pry it open. Show me. No. Did you just say no? Demo grinned evilly. You don't say no to me. No one says no to me. Not even taking his attention from Kaine, he called to his cohorts. Come on, guys, let's give the freak what she deserves. As soon as Demo finished, kicks and blows began to rain down upon Kaine. Dima paused, still grinning as Kaine curled into a ball and tried to make the pain stop. I don't get you, freak. What you acting like a girl for, huh? Everyone knows what you really are. Kaine ignored the question, choosing instead to stare at the water vein. If it continued to point east, it continued to point east, as if supremely confident about the future it had chosen for her. Go home? Yeah, that's a funny joke for someone with dead parents and no home to go to. Freak! Chanted the children. Freak, freak, freak. Kaine closed her eyes and listened to the rain, waiting for the pain to start again. As the clutching hands of the village children closed around her, she bent her mind to the sound of the rain, letting it become her world entire. The rain fell, but the pain never came. Only when the laughter of her tormentors turned to terrified crimes did she dare to open a single blood-caked eye. Kaine was shocked to see Demo sprawled on the ground, holding his head and screaming in pain. She could see blood welling from spaces between his fat, twisted fingers. Oh my god, he's crying. He's actually crying. Deprived of their leader, the other children glanced back and forth between themselves, as if waiting for someone to step forward and take charge. When no savior emerged, they began an uneasy shuffle away from Kaine, but the young girl was the least of the concern. Instead, their attention was wrapped on the ancient woman standing a few feet away. After struggling for her breath for a moment, she finally spoke in a voice thick with rage. It's like a bitch, darn it! Now I suggest you scatter before I throw another one. And if any of you little... Christ. And if any of you little bastards ever touch my Kaine again, I'll do far worse than throw a rocket. You can count on it! The old woman crouched down and gently touched the hand of Demo was using to cover the wound. Before he could think to protest, she ground her palm into the wound and twisted back and forth. Ow! He screamed, leaping to his feet. Stop it! What are you doing? Quit whining! Ain't no one ever died from a scratch. You hit me with the rock, you stupid bitch! A big one. That thing could have killed me. The old woman shrugged. Death is the best cure for stupid. Demo's face twisted with rage at her words. Locking his eyes on Kaine, he took a step backward and spat on the ground. Get out! Leave this village! No one wants you here! Either of you! Seeing the old woman grab another stone, Demo and his companions turned tail and ran. As they fled, the old woman grabbed her side and barked out a single laugh. Ha! Look at that fat boy go! Guess he's healthy enough to run from a fight. The old woman's smile faded as she returned her attention to Kaine. Kneeling down, she removed her shawl and placed it around the young girl's shoulder, and then produced a cloth from the folds of her dress and began blotting at the blood on her forehead. Oh, Kaine, she said, why didn't you fight back? You're stronger than that lot. The words of her grandmother stung Kaine, and she turned away. Don't be nice to me, she said. I don't deserve it. Nothing matters anymore. Her tears, held in check for so long, finally began to fall on the muddy ground below. Everyone hates me. They think I cause bad things to happen. They think I'm a freak. I wish I was dead. As Kaine's tears turned to sobs, she felt her grandmother's hands on her shoulders. Despite her advanced age and diminutive size, she was a woman of surprising strength, and Kaine found herself unable to turn away. Don't talk like that, girl. It's a river wide and deep that flows between the realms of this world and the next, and it grants no mercy to any that attempt to cross it. You got a duty to fight until your last breath. Understand? The old woman tightened her grip and tried to still the tremor in her voice. You know the pain of losing someone close to you, Kaine. You know because you survived it. As the words hit home, Kaine was struck by the force of her love for the old woman. As a young child, she didn't know of her own grandmother, but when her parents died, the woman quickly accepted her as her own. Grandma, as Kaine called her, was cunning, vulgar, and quick to violence, and the first few years together had not been easy. But with each year that passed, Kaine and their grandmother had grown closer. However, it was only now, sitting in the mud with tears and blood kicking her face, that Kaine truly understood the depths of her affection. Here was a woman who had seen such hard times. Seen hard times. There's no such. Who had seen death, who had fought through all these things and somehow emerged on the other side. If anyone could understand Kaine's pain and loneliness, it was her. Do I make you sick, Grandma? Of course not. Don't be an ass. Kaine drew her grandmother's moth-eaten shawl around her body and shuddered. But my body, it's not normal. If I was normal, then Mom and Dad wouldn't. Hush, interrupted Grandma. I'll not hear another word of this nonsense. You're my granddaughter, and I love you. If folks have a problem with that, they can just go to hell. With that, the old woman reached out and placed a wreath of of dried flowers in Kaine's hair. The skill it took to bend the flowers without breaking the stems or losing a single petal was remarkable. And the beauty of it made Kaine want to cry all over again. Oh my gosh, these are lunar tears. Grandma, you made this for me? Lunar tears were legendary flowers. Most people could live their entire lives without ever seeing one, and yet our grandmother had somehow collected a dozen or more. Kaine reached up and touched the wreath. I've got no clue. As if she couldn't believe it was real. Where did you find these? Just stumbled them on the way I was out doing the shopping. The old woman turned away as she spoke, leading Kaine to suspect that the search had been more than difficult than she was letting on. The pains she took to construct the ornament, let alone track the flowers used in its construction, made Kaine's heart hurt. She reached up and gently adjusted the wreath. No idea still, admiring the way it felt between her fingers. Didn't quite turn out right, said her grandmother as she squinted at it. These old hands have trouble with delicate work, but it sure looks good on you and a pretty girl like you. Kaine blushed and turned away. You think I'm pretty? Course you are. What a fool thing to say. Thank you, Grandma. Her grandmother smiled. We're gonna be fine, you and me, she said. Long as we got each other, we'll be just fine. Kaine took her grandmother's hand in hers, and the two of them struggled to their feet. As they began the long walk home, Kaine gripped the hand with all her might, as if trying to stop smoke from drifting away on the wind. The rain had stopped. Kaine stood beneath the weather vane, watching it spin in lazy circles, no longer caring about the direction it faced when it stopped. I don't need to escape. I have a home now. Grandma loves me, and that's enough. Even if it's us against the world. Kaine let her gaze drift up past the vane and into the cloudy sky. The last faint hints of a rainbow were slowly fading. As she turned and headed for home, the light scattered into a million particles and vanished, seemingly taken away on the breeze. Kaine's dreams, daily life. In the distance, Kaine heard the steady sound of an axe striking wood. The noise had a purposeful quality to it, as if she was hearing a master woodsman go about his work. The firewood being produced, however, went as far from a work of art as could be. Pieces of every shape and size were being flung about a barren yard with wild abandon. Anyone trying to stack such wood would probably die of frustration before the job was through. Stupid piece of shit axe! Kaine's grandmother flailed away with the axe, filling the air with both splinters of wood and words that would make the most hardened sailor blush. Grandma, called Kaine. Hey, that you, Kaine? Yelled the old woman, taking her eyes off the wood for a moment. Don't get too close, or I might take her goddamn foot off by mistake. She brought the axe down on the piece of wood, sending chips flying in every direction. One spun past Kaine close enough for her to hear the whistle, at which point she decided to step back. Once she scuttled to a safe distance, she cupped her hands around her mouth and shouted, Grandma! Do you need help? I can get you water or lunch or, a new axe or something. That didn't really sound like a good voice for Kind either. The axe poised to strike another wobbly blow paused in midair. The old woman considered her granddaughter's offer for a moment, then smiled. Tell you what, since I'm doing such a piss-poor job of chopping, why don't you come here and take over so I can go get the water? Shades have been restless lately, and I don't want you running into one of them bastards. Relinquishing the axe, her grandmother picked up a long pole with wooden buckets on either end. Gathering water was by far the more difficult of the two jobs, but Kaine knew better than to complain. Once Grandma's mind was set, there was no changing it. Kaine did her best to help with chores, but Grandma took every task that required travel to the village. Though she had a long list of plausible excuses, Kaine knew the real reason. She didn't want her granddaughter to be taunted and harassed by the villagers. Once Kaine moved in, Grandma decided to take up residence a good distance from the area. Out of sight, out of mind seemed to be the best policy when it came to the villagers and their granddaughter, and rare were the days when any but two of them could be found on the rocky acre of land they called home. Kaine enjoyed the solitude, but harbored a secret resentment that her grandmother was forced to spend her golden years in such a place. After watching her grandmother leave, Kaine turned her attention to the task at hand. She had never chopped wood before in her life, and soon discovered why the old man hated the chore. Swing after swing of the axe produced only a tiny crack in the wood, and when she finally managed to connect with a solid stroke, the tool embedded itself in the log and refused to budge. Frustrated, Kaine swung the axe around her head and threw it, log and all, across the yard. Damn it! Crap. She suddenly understood the joy her grandmother felt in the good curse. Happier now, she picked up the axe, forced it from the wood, and resumed chopping. She had a natural skill with the blade, but the task was challenging, and blisters soon began to form on her small pink hands. This is tough. My logs are all weird sizes. Spitting on her palms and ignoring the pain, Kaine redoubled her efforts. Just as she was developing a rhythm, Grandma returned from the village. Setting down her buckets with a small relief, she took one look at the logs and coughed out a wheezy laugh. Pretty clumsy, girl. You better practice it. If you... Her grandmother suddenly collapsed to her knees, causing one of the buckets to wobble precariously. Eyes wide, Kaine dropped the axe and ran to the grandmother's side. Grandma! The old woman shook her head and pointed a trembling finger at the bucket. Get the bucket. Can't let it spill. Kaine steadied the bucket with a foot as she knelt by her grandmother. A small bit of water sloshed over the side and made a new home in the hem of her dress, but Kaine didn't notice. Grandma, what's happening? Crazed with panic, she grabbed her grandmother by the shoulders and shook. After a moment, the woman lifted her arms and batted Kaine away. Stop that! Just stop! She cried, breathing heavily. It ain't like I'm dying. Just tired from the trip is all. Kaine desperately wanted to believe her, but one look at the woman's old shaking hands and worn face told it more than words ever could. Her grandmother had lived a long, hard life, and it seemed the bill was finally coming due. The time her grandmother watched over Kaine was ending. Sooner than either of them had feared, the positions would be reversed. The next morning, Kaine came to the side of her grandmother's bed and took her wrinkled hand. Grandma, you're sick and you need medicine. I'm going to the village. The old woman shook her head and tried to raise, but Kaine gently pushed her down. It's alright, she said. I'll be fine. Her grandmother fixed her with a gaze that could melt steel. After what seemed an eternity, she finally lowered her eyes and sighed. Well, I don't like it, goddammit. But I guess I should quit being so stubborn and let you grow up. The old woman watched as Kaine strapped on her boots and made her way down the road to the village. Hours later, as an unseen sun made its way across the dark and rainy sky, she was still watching. Kaine moved at a brisk beat, checking her pockets every few minutes to make sure the money her grandmother gave her was still there. Every noise caused her to spin on her heels, making sure she wasn't being stalked by Shade, or worse, Demo and his gang. But she encountered neither tormentors nor shades, and Kaine finally found herself at the entrance to the village. The few adults she could see glanced sideways at her, then muttered to each other behind raised hands before slinking away into the shadows. Her heart racing, Kaine took a series of rapid, shallow breaths and tried to calm herself. I have to prove myself. I have to help Grandma. I have to be strong. She chanted those words to herself over and over as she slowly made her way. Finally, her eyes settled on a rotund older woman who was angrily waving her arms in the air, telling anyone who would listen exactly what she thought of Kaine's presence. Hey lady, said Kaine with a bravado that she did not feel. Where's the apothecary? The woman's flabby cheeks shook in bewildered anger. How dare this student speak to me? They seemed to say, but Kaine seemed saw that her eyes had a different emotion. Fear. Yeah, we're both scared, lady. Trust me on this one. Which way? Kaine repeated. The woman pointed at a small building to her right before hitching up her dress and stumbling off in the other direction. Kaine cringed, expecting the stone to come flying from the assembled crowd, but none came. Her mind was filled with a strange sense of pride as she made her way to the apothecary, but the new emotion yet had little time to take root, for as soon as she opened the door, she had noticed a familiar customer at the counter. It was Demo. He clearly had been sent here on some kind of family errand, because his gang of followers was nowhere to be found. Oh my god, he sputtered. What are you doing here, freak? The insult was delivered without force, and Kaine happily ignored it. Stretching on tiptoes to see over the counter, she asked the shopkeeper for the medication. Ha! Barked Demo. That old bitch finally keel over. Go to hell, Demo. The boy's eyes grew so wide they seemed ready to fall out of his head, but before he could let fly a comeback or worse, a punch, the apothecary told him to knock it off before he kicked him out of the store. Demo slunk out of the shop, cursing Kaine under his breath. Once he was gone, she allowed herself to breathe once more, taking a brief tour of the shop while the owner prepared her medication. Countless tiny bottles filled the cramped store, each with a label written in some indecipherable language. Notion of aromas assaulted her nose, crafting a scent that was exotic, but not altogether unpleasant. Seeing such a variety of supplies gave Kaine a sense of peace. Surely, in a world so vast, there would be a place that she could call home. On the far wall, behind the counter, rested a portrait of a stunning young girl. The picture had once contained bright, vibrant colors, but time had worked its cruel magic, and they were beginning to fade. And the beauty of the work, however, remained undiminished. You like the picture? Kaine turned to find the apothecary with a small vial of medicine in his hand. His eyes were gentle but sad. He seemed to stare through her into nothing as he spoke. That's my daughter. I sketched it when she was just a little girl. She's been dead a long time now. Kaine didn't know how to respond. She just stared at the portrait and tried to come up with the right words. Pictures are wonderful things, continued the shopkeeper. They'll let the ones closest to you live on forever. He shook his head slightly and then looked at Kaine and smiled. Handing her the medicine, he reached into his sizable green apron and produced a handful of old wax crayons. You should have these. There's no one left that I wish to draw. Kaine took an instinctive step back, causing the shopkeeper's face to darken. Yes, I've heard the rumors about you, he said. It's a small village, word travels quickly. Between you and me, I'm not sure which of them to believe, but I also think they don't matter much. I know your grandmother, Callie, and I think the way she was driven out of this town is just deplorable. Grandma's name is Callie? Thought Kaini suddenly. She was still mulling this new fact over in her head as she reached out and gently took the crayons over the apothecary's hands. Your grandmother is an old friend of mine, he said as Kaini scooted away yet again. And I owe her much. I wager she would like if you drew a picture of her. Yes, I think she would like that very much. Kaini murmured a quiet agreement, but inside her heart was bursting. Never before had a villager treated her with anything but complete contempt. It was a tiny, almost imperceptible step, but it was a step nonetheless. With enough tiny steps, she might one day discover the rest of the world. When Kaina returned home, she found her grandmother asleep in her bed. Her feet were blackened and raw, even bleeding a bit in places, leading Kaini to think that she had been pacing around the room until exhaustion finally caught up with her. She placed the medicine by her grandmother's pillow and turned to leave, but found the old woman's clasped around her arm. "Back already, are ya?" asked her grandmother with a yawn. "Come here, let me have a look at you." Grandma sat up and examined Kaine from head to toe. Finally satisfied that nothing terrible had befallen her grandchild, she leaned back and allowed herself to relax. "Well, how was it? Those bastards give you any trouble?" "It was kind of fun," said Kaine with a small smile. "No, seriously, it was." "Fun, eh?" asked her grandmother in a voice that implied she believed anything but. "Uh-huh. So, anytime you need me to run an errand, just let me know." As she spoke, Kaine removed the crayons from her pocket. After a brief explanation of the source, she informed her grandmother that she was going to sketch her a portrait. "A portrait of me? Ridiculous. No one wants to stare at a wrinkled old crone." "But, Grandma, it'll make you live forever." "Horse shit," said her grandmother, throwing back the sheet from her bed. "Living forever would just piss me off. Now put those crayons away and help me with dinner." But Kaine would not relent, and in the end, Grandma found herself leaning against the wall of the house as if posing for a master artist. Kaine took up the crayons, eyed her subject carefully, and set to work. Just as her grandmother was about to nod off, Kaine finished a piece. After staring at it for a bit, she released it from her grip and let it slowly drift to the floor. "It's terrible. It doesn't look like you at all." "Well, I'm sorry, Grandma. I thought these crayons would, make drawing easier or something." The old woman's eyes narrowed at her granddaughter's disappointment. "Let me be the judge of that," she said, ignoring the pain on her back and reaching for the paper. The sketch could have been a person's face. It also could have been a boulder, a lump of clay, or an incredibly misshapen loaf of bread, all rendered in a chaotic array of colors. The old woman stared at the picture for a long time and then slowly wheezed out a laugh. "Oh, Kaine," she said between laughter. "You truly are my blood. You're as clumsy as me, and I love it. But, hush, I won't hear any more bull about how ugly you think it is. It came from the heart, and I'll treasure it always." True to her word, the old woman gave the picture a place of honor above the kitchen table. And in the days that followed, Kaine would often catch her staring at the portrait with a strange smile on her face, and actually she interpreted as silent, mocking laughter. A week later, Kaine could stand it no more, and asked her grandmother to take the artwork down. "Posh," said the old woman. "I'll take this down when they roll me in my shroud." She pondered this for a bit, then turned to Kaine and dropped to one knee. "Listen to me, girl. Seeing this picture makes me happy in a way I've never felt before. And it makes me want to go on, so that someday you can feel the same happiness again." I don't know why I added again. It's like anytime I read a sentence, I always try to say it in a way that someone would realistically say it. But, yeah. Sometimes, I just fuck up the sentences, so that's my bad. living forever would just piss me off. I think if you had, I think if anyone thought about it long enough, I think it would piss people off too. It was a moment that burned itself in Kaine's memory. A perfect blend of pride and love and joy that came together to form a lifelong remembrance. She swore to never forget this moment, to never forget the old woman who had made her place in the world possible. Time moves on. People and memories move in and out of life like ghosts passing through a hall. God damn it. But this moment will be different, Kaine swore, because I will remember it forever. Forever. Kaine's dreams. Separation. Kaine listened to the sound of crackling firewood and stared at the black objects on her plate. She'd been pushing it around the wooden disc for a good 10 minutes, ignoring the bemused stare of her grandmother. Finally, she summoned her courage and gave the object a brief sniff. A sharp, bitter scent flew up her nostrils and made its home there, causing her face to twist with disgust. Grandma, I can't believe you'll want me to eat a bug. The old woman threw some more wood under the cooking pot and snorted. It's not bug, you fool girl. It's a berry. Why the hell would I be feeding you bugs? Yeah, well, it looks like a bug, said Kaine, and I think it's burnt or something because it smells terrible. With that, Kaine held her nose and threw the berry in her mouth, chewing as little as possible. Oh yeah, that's terrible, alright. Why, you little brat, laughed the old woman. Look at the sass on you. You've been spending too much time with me, and that's a fact. 5 years had passed since the moment when Kaine's grandmother saved her from the bullies. What do you mean, Brown? With Nightshade. As is often the way with two stubborn people, their relationship had grown to fits and starts, but moved forward all the same. At meals that used to be somber affairs were now filled with laughter and hurled abuse in equal measure. Kaine could not remember a time when she had been happier. As the years went by, Kaine started to shoulder more and more of the daily responsibilities. Her grandmother's legs grew weaker by the day, and she could no longer do many of the chores she used to take for granted. And so, this morning, found Kaine lacing up her work boots with a breakfast of burned berry rolling to her belly. Where are you going today? Asked Grandma suddenly. Kaine looked up, surprised. The old woman rarely asked for specifics anymore. Well, I was gonna check out the kelma trees and see if they're ripe. I thought we could make some jam or something. Oh, and I'm going to pick up some flagstones, so I need to take the wheelbarrow. Flagstones? What in the hell for? Kaine stared at her grandmother, and then held on an arm and swept it around their home. Constructed mostly of cloth, rope, and rubble, the old place snagged like a boxer in the final round. Grandma, a dying cat could chew through this house. I'm gonna build a stone wall so we could have some protection. The old woman laughed, exposing her toothless grin to the world. God damn, girl. If a bunch of thieves wanted to ransack this old place, let them come. We got nothing worth stealing anyway. I'm not worried about thieves. I'm worried about shades. People saw one west of the village yesterday. The old woman tilted her head and stared at her granddaughter. Well, shoot. I don't know why you have to do it today. We can worry about it some other. Grandma, no. If I don't go to the kelma trees, we won't eat tonight. You know that. A confused expression passed across the old woman's face, and for a moment she was a small child lost at a carnival. Yes, she said after a bit. Yes, of course you're right. I'm sorry, Kaine. Lately seems my mind is... She didn't finish the thought, and instead walking over to a nightstand and gently taking the... I'm just gonna go for it, fuck it. Wraith of lunar tears from the drawer. The flower's petals had aged to a brilliant whiteness, and kinda thought it was more beautiful now than the day she first received it. "You're gonna be a true woman soon," said Grandma as she placed the flower in the girl's hair. "So that means less chatter about shades and building defensive walls and more talk about how beautiful you've become." Annoyed, kinda reached up to remove the garland, but the look on the grandmother's face stopped her hand. "You are a beautiful thing," said the old woman. "And there ain't another like you in all the world. I'm very proud of you." "Okay, Grandma, that's enough of goddamn compliments for one day. Such a mouth on you. Where did that come from? Gee, I wonder." "I'll teach you to sass me, girl," yelled Grandma. Suddenly, she lurched forward and grabbed Kaine by the ears, pulling her around the room with a crazed grin on her face. "Grandma!" yelled Kaine in a quaking voice. "Grandma, stop it! What the hell?" The old woman stared at her and blinked, then slowly held her wrinkled hands out as if it was the first time she had ever seen them. I don't know what happened there. I'm sorry, girl. Sometimes my mind just..." Kinda thought the look on her grandmother's face was the most heartbreaking thing she had ever seen. "Listen," she began. "Maybe I should stay home after all." "No, I won't have you stay here to keep an eye on an old codger like me. You go get your fruit and your whatnot. I'll be fine. And when you come back, I'll have a nice grasshopper dinner waiting for you." Kinda rolled her eyes, then kissed her grandmother on the forehead and made ready to depart, trying desperately to ignore the worry that was gnawing at the walls of her heart. Kinda could feel the old woman's eyes watching her as she moved down the path. Don't turn around," she told herself, but in the end the temptation was too great. She spun on her heel for one final look and saw a small, bent woman standing in front of a ramshackle hut, with a sad expression on her face. God, she looks so old now. It's like the wind could reach down and just carry her away. Kinda worried about her grandmother all day, causing her work to suffer. What little fruit she could collect was tossed carelessly into the wheelbarrow, and she only found a couple of stones before losing interest in the project. Finally, as dusk approached, she decided to call it a day. Cursing herself for her lack of focus, Kinda pushed the nearly empty wheelbarrow back down the path. As she crested the final hill, she suddenly froze in place. The wheelbarrow fell off from her fingers and collapsed on its side, sending a few pieces of wrinkled brown fruit rolling back down the hill. Her gaze was transfixed by a thick black cloud that hovered just ahead. Tracing its path with a finger, Kaine suddenly felt her stomach knot in on itself. No. Oh gods, no! Her grandmother's house was ablaze, the flames licking up as if trying to touch the sky itself. Grandma? Grandma! Kaine ran then, faster than she had ever moved in her life. Once she tripped on a stone and went sprawling into the rocky ground. But she leapt to her feet and continued running, unmindful of the blood that spilled from her wounded hands and knees. As she got closer and closer, Kaine's mind began to race in time with her footfalls. It's too dark. It's too dark. Not just a fire. Can't be fire. Too much smoke. Gotta save her. I gotta save her. She burst into the front yard and came to a sudden halt, her worst suspicions confirmed. The smoke from the fire was mingling with the thick, inky blackness of an enormous shade. The massive creature supported itself on 3 twisted feet, and achieved balance through means of a large armored tail. Scales, horns, and claws sprouted from its body in a random chaotic pattern, giving it the appearance of a lizard designed by some insane god. Seeing Kaine, it let out a roar and flicked its tail, sending small whirlwinds spinning around the yard. For a moment, the creature retreated into shimmering inky blackness, as if her mind was unable to comprehend that such a thing could actually exist. And the smell hit her, a blend of rotted meat and excrement. Then the horror became real once more. The creature bellowed again, and this time Kaine responded with a scream of her own. Alright, you bastard, she thought as her scream echoed off the high cliffs around them. It's you and me. Let's go. The shade eyed Kaine with bemused interest. Then it began looking from her to the house and then back again, as if urging her to look at the discretion it so gleefully wrought. With dread building in her heart, Kaine glanced toward the house. Through the smoke and flames, she spotted a small figure struggling to escape the ruins. Grandma! At the sound of her voice, the old woman began waving frantically. She's alive, thought Kaine. Alive! Kaine's legs sprang to life as she raced across the yard toward the flaming wreckage of the house. Before she could advance more than a few steps, the shade opened its mouth and let out a roar powerful enough to uproot trees and send them flying. The blast sent Kaine tumbling through the air before smashing her against the rocky earth. Stars danced in front of her eyes as she tried to remember how her legs worked. Get up. Get up. Get up, get up, get up, get up now! Well, that now was pretty weak. As Kaine struggled to her feet, the shade stomped toward the house and pinned her grandmother to the ground with the tip of a claw. The old woman struggled to remove the claw from her stomach, but she might well have been pushing a mountain. She coughed briefly, sending a small spray of blood into the air, then collapsed to the ground, her energy spent. Kaine lurched to her feet, only to fall back to earth with a gasp. Her ankles were on fire. One or both of them were shortly broken. Ignoring the pain that screamed through her body, she began dragging herself across the ground, leaving a drunken trail of dust and blood in her wake. Grandma, hold on. Just a little longer. Her grandmother's face was turning blue, her eyes rolling back until only the whites were exposed. Kaine pulled herself across the ground with maddening slowness, the distance seemingly to increase with every second that passed. The shade glanced between the two women and flicked out its tongue, its giant mouth turning up at the corners. Short, panting breaths belched from somewhere deep inside its core. Bastard. Laughing at us. She had no idea how such a mindless creature could experience motion, but there could be no doubt the shade was taking joy in her suffering. Yeah, I see your plan. God damn it. Anyways, the shade moved its claws slightly, allowing Grandma to breathe again. It was clearly keeping her alive, only to snuff out her life when Kaine was close enough to touch her. I'm gonna kill this bastard. Summoning all her strength, Kaine rose to her feet. There was a sickening snap from her right ankle as the foot twisted backward, but she forced it from her mind and began to hobble toward the monster. Pulling a small knife from the pouch at her waist, she leapt on the foot that pinned her grandmother and plunged the weapon deep. Give her back! She screamed. Give her back to me! It was like stabbing a rock. After a few swipes, the knife broke at the hilt with a dull snap. The shade panted laughter again. Then raised its tail and sent it rushing through the air toward the young girl that was latched to its foot. Kaine never had a chance. The tail struck her square in the chest and sent her crashing into the burning wreckage of the home. As she laid on the ground with blood pouring from multiple wounds, a small, weak voice spoke up. Kaine? Kaine's vision blurred, but she forced herself to focus on the sound. Finally, her eyes cleared, enough for her to make out her grandmother's hands reaching out to her through the smoke. Grandma? Kaine, you gotta run. You can't mess this one. Kaine grabbed the hands and held on with all her strength. Grandma, come on. We have to go. The old woman coughed loudly. One of her hands, slick with blood, slipped from Kaine's grasp and dumped it to the ground below. Grandma, no. No! I said run, goddammit. You have to live. You have to get through. The thought would stay forever unfinished. Before she could say another word, the shade's clawed foot descended, smashing through the remains of the roof and down upon the shattered figure of the old woman. Blood oozed from gaps in the creature's toes as the terrible putrid smell assaulted Kaine's nose once again. She stared at the foot, dumbfounded, convincing that what she was seeing could not possibly be real. When the creature finally lifted its appendage, all that remained underneath was a twisted, unrecognizable mass of rubble and red. Her grandmother was gone. Kaine blinked, trying to feel the hands which had been in hers just a moment before. For a fleeting instant, she could remember the warmth of that embrace, the trembling of the fingers. But then the sensation drifted away on the breeze and was gone. Memories flashed through Kaine's mind, one after the other, faster and faster, until it became a meaningless jangle of noise. Kaine screamed then, a thunderous sound that echoed off the cliffs and seemed to roll away forever. The shade eased forward, black ichor pouring from its pouring from its mouth and dissolving into smoke on the ground below. The earth shook with every step as it crept towards its prey. Kaine's body slowly rose as if it controlled by a mad puppet master. Her arms and legs were bent at impossible angles. Her head lolled dangerously to the side. Yet somehow she managed to stand. Staring at the shade, her eyes began to glow with a deep red fire. Also, I can't believe it's been actually 50 minutes since I've been reading this. The creature, so confident just moments before, took a slow, hesitant step backward, trying to discern if this broken human could possibly pose a threat. Kaine seized the moment. Laughing like a mad woman, she leapt into the air and plunged the shattered hilt of her knife deep into the leg of the shade. The shade shook Kaine off like a fly, sending her crashing to the earth once again. Her chest rose and fell slowly, as if a great weight were resting on it. Moist sounds of pain echoed through her mind. Something warm and thick oozed from her ears. Is that blood? I think it is. I think I'm bleeding to death. No, can't die. Grandma told me to live. Deep inside Kaine's mind, something finally broke. The sound, the pain, the smoke and flames, all of it faded away until all that remained was a single incantation repeated over and over again. Kill it! Kill it! Kill it! Kill it now! Again, well, that was pretty weak for me. As the spark that was Kaine slowly began to flicker and die, she felt her desire to kill and her desire to live blend into one. The distance between heartbeats grew longer and longer and longer. Oh, fuck. Alright, back to reading now. Gently, weakly, softly, the shade, sure that its tormentor was dead, turned and stomped off toward the horizon, stopping along the way to bellow one final roar. Couldn't kill it. Shamed beyond imagining, Kaine tried to turn her head to the side, but only succeeded in coughing up a huge gout of blood. It was getting difficult to see, and only after a moment of fierce concentration did she realize her left eye was gone. Laughing to herself, she turned her remaining eye to the ruins of her home and noticed a ragged stump of arm resting a few feet away. Yeah, that's mine, she thought with a mad giggle. This is gonna make clapping a real bitch. Ha! Cried a sudden voice from the depths of her mind. Finally gonna die, are ya? Well, you had it coming. Go to hell, Demo. She thought the unseen assailant. Go to hell before I pluck out your eyes and feed them to a dog. The voice of her childhood terror evaporated into smoke, only to be replaced by another, more recent voice. Hold still, said the apothecary, materializing from the ruins like a ghost. I want to draw you. That way you can live forever. No, stop. I want to live forever. Want to die right now. Right here. I see, he said quietly. Well, if that's what you want. The spectral shopkeeper floated in and out of existence for a moment, then produced a piece of paper and sketched quietly. After a few seconds, he turned the page to Kaine and smiled. Since you rejected my offer, I decided to draw someone else. It was a picture of her grandmother, real as life. Kaine opened her mouth to thank the man, but stopped as the picture began to blacken in the middle. Before she could say anything, dozens of multi-legged insects began to swarm across the image, tearing at it with sharpened pincers. Where's Kaine? In this text. You should read along with me. Stop. No, don't hurt that picture. Kaine reached out with the remaining arm and waved futilely at the air. To her surprise, the insects fell off the picture and to the ground below, where they vanished into tiny black tendrils of smoke. Relieved, Kaine turned her good eye back to the picture, only to open her mouth in a silent scream. The sketch now showed her grandmother as she truly was, a smashed, unrecognizable lump of nothing. The apothecary smiled, then broke into a jolly dance. See that? He cried as he danced and jigged. It's perfect now. She looks just like you. I look like that? Oh god. Oh god. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Drowning in despair, Kaine laid her head back in the mud and smoke of her ruined house and waited for the end to come. But just before she let everything go, an unfamiliar voice began whispering in her ear. Ain't you got a wish, sunshine? The voice was vulgar and fierce at the same time, as if insanity had somehow found a way to take form. Kaine wanted to scream as the voice crawled under her skin, but her lungs refused to work. You know, a wish, like a prayer or something. Why don't you get on your knees and start praying to heaven? Please, invisible man in the sky, save me. Save me. Kaine finally resorted shouting at the voice with her mind. I don't make wishes. They don't come true for me. I'm a curse. A freak. I should be left to die. The other voice boomed in her ear. Oh god, you are the best. Kaine glanced down and saw black, shiny substance oozing from her legs. She tried to brush it away, but her remaining arm would no longer respond. The substance slowly crept around her feet and then began moving up toward the rest of her body. You know what? Yeah, that's a completely good point. Actually, it's gonna overlap the words regardless where I put it, so there's nothing I can do about it. Sorry. Anyways. But you see, that's exactly why I'm reading it for you. See, 5 head. I thought ahead. Where was I? Yeah. Is this death? Is this what it's like? Or is it my mind just losing itself? She could feel the slime oozing upward, feeling the hot, searing pain it left in its wake. Whatever else might be happening, she was still alive, and this was real. Come on, said the voice. Let it go. Kaine tried to ignore the voice and concentrate on the pain, but the newcomer would have none of it. Don't ignore me, sunshine. You're ready to give up, ready to die. So why not let me have it? Have what? Your body. Come on, give it to me. Give it to me. I want to stand on the ground, feel the rain, taste the wind. The voice paused as if licking its lips. When it resumed, it was filled with mad, unabated, however you say it, joy. And I want to take your hands and use them to choke the goddamn life out of people. I want to tear out the throats and bathe in the blood, just like before. In response, Kaine shifted her head and vomited. The warmth of it crept down her front and mingled. Crept down her front. Okay, that's worded oddly. Oh yeah, sorry. And mingled with the pain of the encroaching black ooze. Are you a shade? Yeah, maybe. What of it? The slime reached her face, crept up past her nose, and slowly oozed into the socket of her missing eye. The moment it touched her brain, Kaina was struck by the most powerful sensation she had ever felt in her life. It was ecstasy. She wanted to scream with delight, but all she could manage was a small whispered moan. "Feels good, don't it?" asked the voice with a chuckle. "Yeah, what can I say? I know how to please the ladies. Now give me that body. Come on, give me the body and I'll give you more of this feeling. It's a fair trade." A black lump began to protrude from Kaini's side. As she watched, it grew longer and thicker, eventually taking the form of her missing arm. "I can see better," she thought. "My eye must be growing back too." The slime reached up to envelop the rest of her face, but she managed to brush it away. "Stop," she whispered, marveling at how she regained her voice. "Stop." The black ooze hesitated, as if considering this request, then quickly shimmered down her body before disappearing in a cloud of smoke. "Ah, what the hell, Sunshine?" screamed the voice. "We had a deal. I thought you wanted to die." Grandma said, "Can't die yet." A brief image of her grandmother, bloodied and broken, flashed before her eyes. She saw the shade that had killed her and heard its mocking laughter, then closed her eyes and forced the image from her head. Her whole body was quaking with rage. When she opened her eyes again, they burned bright red. That thing took my grandmother. I have to kill it before I die." Kaine glanced down and saw a mysterious pattern, the pattern of the shades, burn itself into her left arm. "Well, I'll be damned," said the voice cheerfully. "Look at that, Sunshine. I think you and me are gonna be good friends now." Kaine stared intently at her arm. The more emotional she felt, the more the letter seemed ready to puncture her skin and begin infecting the rest of her body. The arm clearly had a will of its own now. "Stop. Gotta stop." Holding her left arm in her right, Kaine took a deep breath and tried to calm herself. "Come on, don't fight it," pleaded the voice. "Hate's my favorite dish, and I'm hungry. Let it go. Feel the hate. Burn with the fire of revenge. Thirst for blood, and go out there and... Shut up and get the hell out of my body." "Your body? Oh, that's rich, Sunshine. Real rich. Look, why don't you just up and die so I can have this body all to myself? What do you say? I bet those buddy of yours in the area would love to see you dead." Kaine grabbed a nearby shard of glass and tried to saw off the shade-infected portion of her side. Before she could, her darkened left arm grabbed her right wrist, crushing it. Kaine screamed and dropped the shard as the sound of bone crunching on bone filled the air. "Stupid idiot girl, you're possessed now, Sunshine, and there ain't no getting it back." The voice laughed again, a loud, long wail that seemed to go on without end. "Possessed?" whispered Kaine. "Yeah, possessed. You and me? We got what you might call a timeshare arrangement. Remember how folks used to think you were a freak? Well, wait till they get a load of you now." Kaine looked up, tears in her eyes. The sky seemed smaller somehow, darker. "Is this because of that shade? Is this how they see the world? So, listen," purred the voice. "I know this whole possession thing seems a bit sudden, but it ain't all that bad. There's plenty in it for you too. I'm a very powerful creature, Sunshine, and now that power belongs to you. You got enemies? People you want to kill? I can make it happen. That little fat kid who kept picking on you? That big old shit that squashed your granny? We'll wrap him up in their own assholes. No more abuse for you, Sunshine. No more pain." Wait, said Kaine. "You're a shade. Why would you help me kill another shade?" What, you think I'm some kind of racist? Some killing snob? I don't give a good goddamn who you murder, honey pants. I just want a drink from the well." Kaine considered this as she struggled to her feet, the power of the shade coursing through her. The smoke from her house was drifting away with the wind, and she enjoyed the way the cool evening breeze fell on her new left arm. After a long pause, the voice spoke up again. "So, how about it? You and me? We could have some good times together. Look, I'll even take care of the bloody part if you don't want..." "Fuck off, asshole. I'll handle the killing." Look at you go. Oh, Sunshine, we're gonna have so much fun. So, listen, my name's Tyran. If you ever need me, I'll just be hanging on this piece of me you call a heart. Now get to it. The more you kill, the more your heart turns rotten and sour. And I like rotten and sour. Kaine found herself nodding at the voice. "Yeah," she said. Yeah, I think this can work. I'm gonna find that shit, I'm gonna strangle it with its own guts. And when I'm done, I'm gonna do the same to you, Tyran. Count on it. Ha! Laughed Tyran. I've shit bigger than you, so good luck with that. Oh, and hey, one more thing. Right now, you and me are sharing this body, but if you ever run out of fate, if you ever, go soft, then I'm gonna take over everything. So keep on killing Sunshine, and watch your back. The voice grew fainter and gradually faded away, fading to somewhere deep inside Kaine herself. Kaine waited until she was sure the voice was gone, then waved her new left arm around a few times. It feels perfectly normal, she thought. It feels like mine. Desperately, she began poking and prodding at the new limb, determined to find something wrong with it. She didn't want it to feel normal. That would mean the creature inside her already won. I am not a shade. I am Kaine. Repeating this mantra in her head, she slowly began digging through the rubble of her house, being careful to ignore a certain red-stained spot in the corner. Finally, after what seemed like an eternity of heartbreaking work, she found what she was looking for. It was the wraith of lunar tears. Though it had been through hell and back, the garland's petals were as bright as ever. Kaine started to place it in her hair, then slowly lowered the wraith and stared at it. I'm sorry, Grandma. I'm so sorry. But I don't deserve to wear this anymore. I'm possessed, corrupted, a freak. And this time, I don't think there's any going back. Holding the flowers to her heart, Kaine fell to the ground and sobbed. As she gradually lightened to dawn and the people of the area arose to their daily lives, and she remained in that position, as if tears could somehow wash away the horror that now infected her world. Speaking of which, this is a new cutscene. Like I said, I won't skip this one.
I should apologize to Kaine and Emil. But what good would that even do?
I got a fire going.
Wait, is that...
Campfire? I'm so happy to get to talk to you again, Kaine.
Yeah, me too.
I tried everything I could think of to save you, you know. I polished you with a special cloth. I poured warm water over you.
Wait, you poured water on me?
Yeah, but it didn't really do much except make you all shiny.
Hey, Emil. Thanks for saving me.
I guess you noticed how I look different now.
I'm sorry, Emil. I'm sorry for all of it.
Well, I mean, this new form isn't all bad, you know? At least I can look at you when we talk, right? Hey, so why don't you tell me something about yourself?
I'm not very interesting. Sorry.
Come on. I just want to know you better. Please?
Fine. This all happened when I was a kid. Before the whole shade possession thing. My body is... different. And when the villagers found out about it, they started treating me like a freak. But one person, my grandmother, accepted me just as I was, no matter how bad things got. She gave me the strength to keep going.
She's really special to you, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, hey! That gives me an idea. Since we cured your petrification, we should start looking for a way to cure your possession in my body. I know we can do it if we all work together. Heck, it'll probably be super easy.
Let me guess. More warm water?
Okay. Can we just forget I told you about that?
Stalker.
Sleep well?
Sure.
And yet your red eyes tell a different tale. Don't be so hard on yourself, lad.
I need to go see Devila and Popola.
Very well.
Yeah, you see this little marker? I'm gonna come back to that till I guess the very end of this entire playthrough. Not Ruby, but well, like I said, I'll get to it at some point. Well, okay, aside, well, I guess it's not part of the main quest, but yeah, the books on the shelf and over at home. I guess there would be the only remaining side quest. It should be the last 3 weapons. Ah shit, you know something? Well, I'll do it when I get to that point of the game. Alright. Bram, you remember who Popol and Devil are, right? I just talked to both of them. Wait, you remember them, right? Alright. I mean, this I don't... Where's Hansel? You see, this is why I said you should watch the Act 1 streams. It's on my Twitch. I have it in collection. But basically, if you want the short version, there is actually 2 twin statues that, it's basically the same place where you get Grimoire of Ice. That's where you get them from, and the 2 statues attack you. You kill one of them, as Kid Nier, and the other you presumably kill them, but all you've done is just wound. I forgot who was the one that survived. I think it was Gretel. Yeah. But basically, yeah, that's why. So Hansel, if that's the one that is dead, well, here's your answer. Let's see. Okay, yeah. See there's like a little small statue behind the one that's sitting down with red eyes. That's Hansel. Yeah, he's dead as hell. Yeah, that's what I meant. That where they're keeping Grimoire of Ice and Kid Nier took him in as part of his party. And there you go. Officially, now you got your answer.
Ain't you excited, sunshine? We finally get to bathe in blood.
Don't talk to me.
I want to kill so bad I can barely stand it.
But yeah, the thing is, I don't know if the term of what they are is revealed
What's with these guys?
in the documents, or
Certainly not your garden variety shades.
if it's
Their
much
bodies
later.
aren't fully functional.
Say, I've heard of this. A cursed area where incomplete shades gather.
So, yeah. Gestalt is part of what I was talking about. It's known as Project Gestalt, the part of the reveal that it was basically what separated the humans from their or the human soul from their own body, and what turns out for them to turn out like shades like that. I think Gretel's you should take your time spelling. It goes a long way, like I said. Yeah, this is a repeat. Right. Now, what is it? In Rupee, you can understand what the...
There's dozens of them!
Yeah, you can understand what the sheets are saying. I'll try to be quiet.
These are creatures of the darkness.
Then again,
Pull
like I
them to the
said,
light.
you should rely on reading it. it's not like you can understand what
Pathetic
they're
to
saying
the
in the
end,
first
I
place.
see.
Or at least not through.
Aim for that statue. It's the leader.
Yeah, you're really one horny motherfucker, aren't you? You just happen to stop into my stream on Replicant, you just see him. Just like, damn, I fell in
Oh,
love
you're
with him.
funny. I'm gonna start crying.
Now you're for the most part, you're stopping by just to see all about Kaine. What do you mean who? There's no one else. That's this. What is it? Fucking. What's the word? Has a hard on for her, especially for a few minutes of being in the stream. Not that I'm saying that, you know, nobody would, but still. Well, that's all the little kids dead, so. Yeah, clearly.
This is one stubborn son of a bitch.
Ooh, actually,
Damn it!
I actually have to be careful of
You ain't
skipping
feeling
some
bad,
scenes.
this freak, are ya? Ain't no turning back now. You gotta lust for blood. Embrace the slaughter. All we know is the thrill of battle. Ain't that right, Kaine?
Anyways, I was saying I should be careful with some of the old scenes because they might have some new dialogue that wasn't in the original cutscene. Every day. Then again, like, I'll look into it some other time. See if I didn't have to skip some dialogue from skipping cutscenes. Now this one I know for certain is different. Or at the very least, it has Nier Replicant. Well, this one.
Kaine!
Oh, you're kidding me!
Now that I think about it, I think I should actually turn off my webcam because it is getting in the way. But basically, he's talking about the little shits that are his friend, or she's talking about the little shits that were her friends, but how she needed them. Bram, I can't do that. I can't put it dead center. It won't allow me to. So, I am gonna have to turn off cam. So, adios, by the cam at least, because it is kind of important for you to hear the shades or read the shades line since they sound indistinguishable on audio-wise. Alright, see y'all.
Kaine! Are you alright? Kaine!
I fear there is little we can do for her.
No! Kaine!
What is happening?
It's all over for you, sunshine.
Kaine! Kaine!
Oh dear. Over there.
It's a cipher.
I pointed this out before, but 5 years later, they still can't fix the damn hole in the roof.
Ah, the home of that blasted dream.
Yeah,
Truly a nightmare I hope never to experience again.
I hear ya.
I cut like 20 to 30 minutes of reading that into just like less than 1
What's in
minute.
there?
Alright. Just 2 fragments. If I speak of Popo, what does this do? Oh yeah, it starts the area.
Maybe Popol is found.
Very well.
Oh fuck, I think I remember this one. I don't like, or I'm not sure if there's a lot of text for that one, but I think there might be. Oh well. I think I do gotta get ready for another text scroll.
I cannot fathom that village setting up a mercantile. They must have truly opened their minds.
Go all the
Yeah, I
way
have
to
my
the
doubts.
entrance of the area, and then let the dialogue play out.
Aren't you glad to be going back home, Kaine?
Home? That place is a shithole.
Ooh, the village. It's home to so many terrible little memories, isn't it, Kaine?
Shut up, shut up, shut up!
Oh, this little prick.
We do not desire.
Oh wait, did I say Tyrant? I think I meant to say Tyrant. That's what his name is pronounced. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
We do not desire needless conflict.
If we can continue to live with humans,
Then we can continue to live peacefully.
But that young man will come.
Yes, the young man will come.
He will kill us all. Women and children included.
What should we do? What can we do?
Everyone. Everyone. Vice!
Beware, this man is a shade.
Damn it! It's a trap!
I figured as much.
They've been possessed somehow.
Keep your guard.
You guys sure are taking your goddamn time.
1,000 apologies. We were distracted by the local welcoming party.
Want some help?
A carnival of murder? I love it!
Kaine! The villagers are possessed!
But not all of them. Some are still human, so be careful.
There, now you can finally see the, what is it, the shade dialogue.
Don't hurt my sister!
What madness. These people are behaving as if we are the villains.
Kaine!
Kill them! Kill them now!
No! You've got to stop this! We're trying to save you from the shades! Please, you have to stop!
Neil!
We need to get out of here. Kaine!
Kaine, get up! Hurry!
Aw, the little vixen has finally run out of steam. Is it my turn now? Are you sure about that, Sunshine?
Villagers are under attack over there.
Pretty much, at least Rupee and beyond.
Emil! Emil, wait! Emil! He's gone. His instincts have taken hold. The ultimate weapon is being deployed.
Ah, fuck. This ain't good, Sunshine.
What do you mean OG designs? Like, as opposed to what? Anyways, uncontrollable magic, was it? I have to protect the people I love. That was my only thought as I unleashed a magic powerful enough to destroy not only the Shade, but everyone else as well. All of them. So many innocent lives. Destroy, eviscerate, crush, kill. These are the dark impulses that overwrite all other thoughts. As a being that was created to be a magical weapon, these are my instincts. Or maybe it's better to call them our instincts. A klaxon sounds from deep within the bowels of the laboratory, or laboratory, whatever. Thick metal shutters drop down, sealing off the room with a series of dull metal thuds. Abort the experiment! Number 6 is out of control! Everyone, get out of here now! Get out of here! And then the researcher's words are abruptly cut off as a massive hand materializes out of the gloom and lifts him high into the air. The researcher begins to scream. He screams and screams, the sound echoing off the walls of the laboratory until the hand squeezes down, coating the room in a deep crimson hue. The rest of his colleagues stand in silence, mouths open, unable to process what they have just seen. Then a female scientist takes a step back and lets fly with a heartbreaking wail. But this is a terrible mistake, for the sound of her cry suddenly brings forth a monster in all of its terrible glory. Its body is a bloated corpse, its head a grinning skull, and it is massive, many times the size of a human. The head lolls from side to side as it trumps about the room on all fours, bringing to mind the wild maneuverings of some wretched, starving beast. This creature, this thing, is experimental weapon number 6, also known as Alua. Oh no, please stop. Oh God, save me. Save me. I don't want to die. One by one, the maddened cries of the researchers are silenced. If number 6 understands their petitions, it pays them no heed, instead continuing its rampage of destruction and slaughter with a focus that borders on its obsession. After an eternity, the screaming stops. The alarms fall silent. Only then does the creature make a sound, howling out with an unfathomable roar that echoes up and down the empty halls of the blood-soaked laboratory. It's a sound that curses those who had dared bring such evil to the world. And yet, that also seems to be pleading for help. two sets of footsteps echo in the otherwise silent corridor in the first level of the laboratory. One set belongs to a young boy, his eyes blindfolded and his hands restrained. The other belongs to a severe man in a long white coat. The man drags the boy along by means of a long chain attached to a set of shackles on his wrists. Rubble is scattered here and there across the floor of the corridor, making the journey an exceedingly difficult one for a boy who cannot see. Excuse me? Could you please walk a bit slower, sir? I'm not used to being blindfolded and... Rather than stopping, the man only increases his pace, causing the boy to stumble in an attempt to keep up. This last simulation proves too much, and the boy finds himself unable to arrest his fall. Without the ability to brace himself, he topples to the floor, smashing his head on a pile of debris and causing a trickle of blood to worm its way down his pale, frightened face. Agonized by the pain, the boy inadvertently opens his eyes, causing the falling drops of blood to emit a strange crackling sound before transforming into tiny white rocks. "Close your damn eyes!" roars the man. "Yes, sir," stammers the boy as he slams his lids shut. He had to realize the blindfold had slipped off during the fall, but now as he keeps his eyes squeezed shut so tightly that sparkles appear against the black of his vision, the boy is Emil, also known as Number 7. He is a magical weapon whose eyes are capable of turning to stone anything that falls under the gaze. "Don't look at me," barks the man. "Never look at me." I'm sorry, sir. I'm looking at the ground now, so if you could just hand me the blind." Instead of waiting for him to finish, the man extends one foot and presses Emil's face to the floor with the heavy black boot. "Sir, stop! You're hurting me." I told you to keep your eyes and your mouth shut, so do it!" So the man knows this boy, this weapon, could wipe him out with a single glance, yet subduing him in a way gives him a sense of relief. After making certain the boy is sufficiently cowed, the man leans down, retrieves the blindfold, and knots it tightly around the boy's quivering head. "Right then, on your feet. Let's move." Emil staggers to his feet, trying to ignore the red liquid oozing down his face. The blood doesn't matter. The pain doesn't matter. All that matters is finishing the job they had set up for him to do. The second level of the laboratory is in even worse shape than the first. The environs are littered with rubble and rock, making the thought of a decent foothold laughable. When the man's eyes linger on the section of rubble stained a deep red, he has a sudden image of a warm, gooey brownie slathered in a strawberry sauce. What an odd thing to think about. His stomach lurches at the thought, but when he attempts to avert his eyes, they land on the remains of a human being rendered into what could only be described as paste. The man blinks. His mind goes strangely blank before attempting to determine exactly how many humans had to be sacrificed to create those scattered piles of flesh around him. After a moment, before I continue, wish we kinda got to see this in the lab, but probably it's been a long time. But oh well, would have been a really better looking setting. Anyways, his thoughts simply ceased altogether, as if his mind realizes that trying to put such a thing into form is folly. "You can go the rest of the way on your own," says the man in a voice much weaker than he wishes it to be. "I mean, what does it matter? You're not even human. You're a monster." With this, the man spins around and dashes back down the hall. A helpless Emil simply listens as the footsteps of his erstwhile captor fade into the distance. Emil finds himself alone in a room with the stench of death and blood. For a moment, he considers opening his eyes, but the thought of the horrors that will await him quickly squashes his plan. Instead, he stands still and listens intently. Eventually, a faraway sound reaches his ear. "That's the howl I heard before." Emil resumes walking, using the sound of the distant voice to guide him, almost as if it was calling him home. By the time Emil reaches the third level, he is moving on memory as much as sound. His hands and face are covered in fresh wounds from numerous falls, but every time he thinks about giving up, his mind returns to his sister. We studied together. We ate cookies together. We cried together. We laughed together. And sometimes I was the only one got yelled at. That's why I was never lonely. Our being together allowed me to stay strong. For Emil, his sister was all he had to live for. Still holding that feeling close to his chest, he presses on, one slow step after the other. Finally, Emil finds himself drawing close to a certain experimental chamber in the deepest part of the laboratory. The hall was very close now, and as he touches the switch that controls the door, he thinks about his mission. Number 6 is the ultimate weapon. She is a sister, and they must turn her to stone. The door slowly opens, revealing the massive interior of the experimentation chamber. After a few steps, Emil removes his blindfold and slowly opens his eyes. His sister lurks before him, but she looks nothing like the girl he once knew. Instead, he sees a savage beast crawling on all fours through the shredded remains of researchers. As the thing that had been his sister stops and tilts its head in Emil's direction, he focuses his gaze on it. A series of soft crunching sounds emerge from the creature as his magic does its terrible work. First the fingers, then the hands, arms, legs, head. What little color the beast once possessed fades to a dull ashen gray. And yet somehow, it summons what strength remains and pulls itself toward Emil, one slow lumbering effort at a time. Wailing, the massive monstrosity closes in. Is she worried about me? Or is she coming to kill me? Emil feels prepared to accept either outcome. After all, this was his older sister, the person he had loved more than anyone else in the world. Lua, The moment Emil speaks, number 6 comes to a sudden halt. Silence descends on the chamber as the siblings stare at each other. I'm sorry, Halua, but everyone says you're too powerful. They say it's too dangerous unless I seal you away. I'm so sorry. As Emil watches her body begin to turn to stone once more, number 6 simply awaits an utter perfect silence. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The moment number 6's petrification is complete, her memories flood into Emil's mind. The two of them huddling together in the cold, all alone in the world with no one to protect them. All she wanted was to save her little brother. And yet, it was the little brother who, in a sense, saved her. The moment the petrification is complete, Emil sinks to his knees. A frozen sister and a little brother watched, racked with sin. Alone in his cold cage, the two of them weep in a single silent voice. It was our combined power that destroyed the area. All existences, entire lives, even their memories. We took it all. We took everything. My sweet, gentle sister turned into a monster. And the same thing will happen to me now that I have her power. If my instincts as a weapon win out and destroy me in the process, if that power ends up hurting someone I love, I think I can skip this. There you go. Sacrifice fragment.
We had best be off.
Yeah.
Yeah. That took 40 minutes. And I'd say like 30 minutes of it was just reading.
Damn! Where'd they go? Get him! Don't let him escape! I see something over there!
Nah. I mean, I do like Emil, but, you know, not that way. Not saying you're wrong about being the horn dog, but still. Just fall prey to it. Very quickly. That's all I'm saying.
Who are you? Military defense robot, P-33. You are an intruder. You must be eliminated. Error. There is something leaking from your eyes. What is crying? Who is Mom? My creator is also dead. He perished hundreds of years ago. 874 years, 10 months, 14 days, 4 hours, and 43 minutes. 44 minutes. I am incapable of being lonely, or missing others, or crying. You will die. Why will they kill you? I will not permit the humans to kill Khalil. Military defense robot P-33 will protect you. P-33 is charged with defending others. P-33 will defend Khalil.
What? What the fuck are you talking about?
The noise of the intruders caused the structure to fail. They should have proceeded with more caution. One intruder has perished.
The junk heap. Perhaps we should speak to the brothers.
Sorry, I was too busy scratching my own thighs. Alright, let's go. Hey look, he gave me a sword that I already have.
Don't we already have this weapon?
Shh. These things happen the second time around.
If I want Damascus steel.
A large seagoing vessel that carries freight and passengers over bodies of water. You have taught me much, Khalil. You have helped to expand my vocabulary. You have instructed me in the ways of the outside world.
Is it
Because we are friends.
It appears we have some free time on our hands. Take it very well.
I see. How the fuck are there so many of these here?
Sheesh. I don't think I've ever seen fog this thick before. Huh? What's that? Hard to believe a ship of this size managed to run aground. What was that? Hey, is someone there? Okay, I definitely heard someone cough just now. Maybe it's one of those kids from town? But where are they? There you are. What are you doing here, kid? And who are you, anyway? Were you a passenger on this ship, maybe? Hey, it's okay. You don't need to be scared.
Well, you get to find out.
Hey there. How you feeling? Well, your cough seems better at least. Check it out. I brought you some bread today. Oh, easy there. Jeez, you must have been starving. Well, look, no one's gonna take this from you, so just take it easy so you don't choke on it, okay? So, what were you doing on this boat, kid? Actually, scratch that. First things first. I can't just keep calling you kid. You got a name? Well, this is going nowhere fast. Let's see. Louise. Yeah, what about Louise? I mean, it just sort of popped into my head, but what do you think? Guess you're okay with it. Well, it's nice to meet you, Louise. Hey there, Louise.
That bag does not belong to her. It is not the rightful owner. That lady.
Say, where'd you get that red bag? Found it on the ship, did you? You kids are so darn curious about everything. Anywho, it's good to see you. Afraid I don't have any bread today, but I did bring you something. Here, it's a ribbon. Let me tie it in your hair for you. Well, what do you think? Pretty nice, huh? Huh, what's that on the floor? Oh, it's a mirror. Well, that's a stroke of luck. Let's go ahead and check out your new look. If you go over there where it's brighter, you'll be able to see yourself more clearly. What's wrong? Don't you want to see? Oh, I see. You don't like sunlight. Guess your eyes are pretty sensitive after spending all this time in the dark, huh? Well, it's not like we can have you stay here forever. We should work on getting you out of here so you and me can go look at the sea together. How's that sound?
Color.
Hey, Louise. I brought your food for today. What's wrong? Aren't you hungry? Huh. You haven't been eating much lately. Are you okay? Well then, let's try this. Yeah, sorry about that. It's called a song. Humming a jaunty tune is the best thing for putting a spring in your step. Songs are like a little bit of wisdom that makes the tough times easier. I love them personally. I mean, not that I'm any good at singing. Whoa, your voice is a bit rough there, but you're actually pretty good.
That's some more shit. Rupee.
You know, I knew someone who lived in the town lighthouse before she died. She used to hum this same song a lot. I heard it every time I stopped by to deliver something, and I guess it just kinda stuck. Of course, that was quite a while ago.
Wait, did you actually guess for
Are you
Sada's,
trying to cheer me
who
up?
this is? Because if you did, you're retarded.
You are a kind soul, Louise.
Shut up. Christ.
I'm sensing some really weird magic going on here, Sunshine.
I was tempted to just time you up, but I feel like that would just remove every chat beforehand, and I don't want to do that. Even if it is just as a joke. Yeah, it's fucking me. It's, you know, that's clearly it. It's the narrator.
Yeah. Is it a shade?
Are you actually trying to think something through rather than just jumping in and killing?
What's wrong, Kaine?
Nothing. It's just... I'm sensing a presence from seafront. Something like a shade.
A shade in the town? That's not good.
So, were you able to write that letter? You know, now that I've taught you how. Not yet, huh? Well, there's certainly no reason to rush. You know, it makes me happy that you've taken such a shine to me. First time we met, I didn't have the foggiest idea what was going on in that head of yours. So, hey, I've been thinking. How about you come live with me? It might be kind of nice to have a daughter around. Not into it, huh? Guess I should have figured. I'm sad to hear it, but it's your choice, of course. Huh? The floor's wet. Wait, is this blood? Oh dear. Are you...
Yes, it's that time of the month.
Oh, baby, that is one hell of a smell. We got something real nasty nearby, eh, Sunshine? Come on, don't tell me you ain't picked up on it yet. You of all people gotta know what this smell means.
Looks like somebody's journal. Here, let me see.
By the way, this part is new to Rupee. You're not allowed to do this in your day. It'll just tell you that the door is inaccessible. I think.
It says the ship was attacked by some kind of monster.
Yeah, okay, it is.
Seems like the person who wrote this holed up in here, while the monster roamed around the ship, killing everyone.
Alright, bro.
Do you think that actually happened?
I cannot say, though the term monster might well be referring to a shade.
Oh, hang on. There's more. After the screaming died down, the writer would hold their breath whenever they heard the monster's footsteps. I think the person who wrote this was in here for weeks.
This journal was likely the only thing keeping their madness at bay.
Let's read a bit more. A whole bunch of pages just have the word help scrolled across them.
See how the writing turns a darker shade of red? They must have started using their own blood after running out of ink. I think that is enough reading for one day.
I'm gonna keep reading it.
Picking up where we left off. Oh, that's weird. The rest of these pages have been ripped out.
To these eyes, it looks more like they were bitten off. What in the name of all that is holy could have happened on this ship?
Alright, that's it. It was getting interesting.
Oh, damn.
Perhaps.
Vice?
So I hear, or so I read it. What's the story lead to? Just, things.
Oh man, that smell is getting ripe. How you feeling there, Sunshine?
Not great. Can't you tell?
This would be the culprit who...
It's that girl we saw when we first entered the ship.
Hold.
There.
Oh man, this shade is nuts. I think I'm in love.
Well, you got your answer. Louise is the shade.
You can feel her power hanging in the air, and she ain't even trying yet. Things are finally heating up. Huh?
Could this girl be the presence you sensed?
Oh, yeah.
Stay the hell away from her! She isn't...
But you were just guessing at random. Find any real reason for guessing. Said whatever it is.
What on earth?
Nah, this puts your bros to shame,
Why
to
isn't
be
the
honest.
shade being hurt by the sun?
That is not precisely the case. It most certainly is being burned by the sunlight. However, its regenerative abilities far outpace whatever damage the light is able to inflict. This light, something is coming. Get out of the way at once!
Oh, listen, it's singing. This actually thinks it's a person. don't know where the singing lessons came from, but I do know it's sure as hell trying to eat us.
What do you mean? I thought you should dodge this one. I wonder if it's an easy. Well, no point in finding that out.
Aim for the tentacles with faces on them!
Don't stop now. Focus on the next one.
You're doing it for him? How sad. How precious.
Now is our chance. Attack with all that you have.
Anyways, I said what to your last two your last two what is it messages in chat.
Did we get it? Oh hell, that thing's huge.
Oh.
To think it could recover from such a grievous wound.
Ordinary attacks aren't gonna do shit against this thing.
Hey, the guy from before's collapsed on the beach. That shade's got some kind of hard-on for it. We should take him hostage.
Shut your yap. I'm not in the business of using my blades on people.
Is this thing turning its body into spears and shooting them at us?
Fine then. I guess we'll all just sit around a campfire and sing songs until we get murdered.
God damn it!
Withstand such an onslaught.
I'm really scared, guys!
We will be in grave danger if it unleashes that attack. We must stop it.
Well, only getting to 20 is pretty easy, and not to mention the nuke.
I think we're in trouble.
What the hell are you doing? Stop him already!
My body won't... Damn it! Fuck!
Stop! No!
What are you doing? You're gonna get yourself killed!
Ah! 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 Stop! Don't hurt these people! So you've been lying to me this whole time? You're a monster!
It stopped?
Focus on the source of its magic. Aim for the head.
We can never be together! You disgust me!
The hell's this, Sunshine?
A letter. That thing wrote it for the postman.
Ha! Man, that is some grade A chicken scratch!
She probably copied the letters as best she could.
So, what's it say?
I think our friend's gonna wake up soon. Let's go.
Hey, Kane,
Yeah?
when you were threatening that shade on the beach the other day, how did you know it was trying to protect the postman?
Just a feeling, I guess.
All right.
just left him alone. It's not like wolves ever.
Aw, weddings are the best. There's flowers everywhere. Everyone's happy. It's just great. I'm kind of jealous. Aren't you jealous, Kaine? Oh, come on.
That wolf is a shade.
For God's sake.
Damn it.
Such dogged, unwavering defiance. Why do these beasts hold so much rage?
But you must endure. Go, live, and think of me again. Thank you for being my friend.
See how fast I can do this. Well, of course I'm gonna take a knee. No.
Looks like we found it. Good lord, it's enormous.
Intruder detected. Scanning. Scanning. Exterminating.
Look at the shade!
That thing's commanding the robot somehow.
Aim for the legs! Knock it down!
Take out the shade!
Why the hell is this thing so tanky?
Must defend my mission.
No, damn it. That's a shade. It's a shade!
Kill him. Kill him. Feel the hate inside you.
Watch for falling debris!
Look out!
Escape. 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 Go. See the world. Earl. 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 Must protect. Must fight. Together, BB. Alone. BB. Cry.
You stupid machine! You killed my family!
Beautiful. What a perfect example of humanity.
Hatred and madness will never heal a wounded heart.
Maybe it's just all he's capable of right now.
Revenge is a fool's errand.
Yeah, I know.
This is the last of them.
Now we can find the Shadow Lord.
We sir.
Hold on.
You know, I've been thinking. Why was a shade hanging out with a machine?
It appeared the creature was actually issuing orders to that mechanical minion.
Do you think the shade had a reason for what it did?
Actually,
Look, it doesn't matter what a shade is or isn't thinking. All that matters is that we kill every last one of them.
Right. Sure. The idea of a Shade trying to protect a robot is goddamn absurd. Still, you guys should be careful.
What do you mean?
If the Shade inside me ever takes over, I'm probably going to attack you.
That's not gonna happen. You are no Shade.
The lad is correct. You are many things, hussy, but a shade is not one of them. Shades, for example, do not come equipped with such foul and scurrilous mouths.
Oh, save for a Tyrant, but... Or Tyrant, sorry.
How about I cram your face up your own asshole, book?
Don't worry, Kaine. If your Shade ever takes over, I'll stop you.
You will you? Thanks, Emil.
Oh, level 33.
What is it?
So, we can finally save Yona now, huh?
It would appear that way. What is it, lad? You've quite the pensive look on your face.
Listen, I need your advice. It's about Kaine and Emil. This upcoming fight with the Shadow Lord is gonna be rough. And while I'd do anything for Yona, I'm not sure it's fair to drag the two of them into this.
Are you truly worried about such a thing now? After all our merry little band has been through?
Hey, the fuck's this hot garbage you've been spewing?
Someone's been eavesdropping, eh?
Kaine, Emil, look, I just...
Wanted to leave us behind? Why, so we'd be safe? Fuck that.
Kaine's right. You accepted me. You told me we'd be together no matter what happens. Now it's time for us to return the favor.
Don't make me start talking about loyalty and debts and all that. You know I hate mushy shit.
But...
If it makes you feel better, we're not doing it for free. After we rescue Yona, we're totally gonna call in a favor of our own. We're going on a journey to cure Kaine's possession and restore my body. It's gonna be tons of fun. Just think of all the delicious local foods we can try along the way.
I'm gonna eat way more than my fair share. So you better get ready to pony up.
Thanks, you two. We're gonna rescue Yona. I swear it.
Are we ready?
Let's all make it back alive, okay?
It's a plan.
He's such a pompous ass. Too much of one that he can't just die that easy, you know? But don't you worry.
It certainly is a grand affair.
Yeah, but then again, just one of a kind. Can't exactly just make, you know, copies of them and expect them to be worth the same. So he doesn't need to be in the library. All the goddamn cookbooks are.
It's not like I was planning to leave.
Yeah, it's a bit late for that.
And if you're concerned about it looking good or not, or what it's looking good, I say it is.
I'll open the next door.
That
Cover me.
Good.
Oh, how I do love a good
Fights!
Oh, right. Protect the hussy, yes? Good plan. Let's go.
Protect Kaine for us!
Come on. Come on.
Kaine! Hurry!
It's not open yet?
Do I look like a goddamn locksmith to you?
Fucking. Wait, this one is after.
No, you idiot! What are you doing?
Lock doesn't want to open? Fine. I'll just break it down.
Stop, you impatient fool!
Goddamn no good bullshit bastard! Open the fuck up already! Ugh! Got it.
Kaine, look out!
Damn, a lot of balls. Yeah.
These things are freaking me out.
These are baby shades, so I'll do my best to kill all of them.
Kaine, what's wrong?
It's so fun. Come on, let me kill them all.
We need to help Kaine!
You okay?
Yeah, well, we got problems. We don't need forgiveness, asshole.
Kaine?
This is the only point.
Wait a
So
second.
let's flip up and get the bigger shit, so it's the other.
Your heart is different. It ain't hatred, and it ain't sadness. What's going on here, sunshine?
How should I know?
Kaine, are you alright?
I'm fine. Let's just kill some shit and move on, alright?
Interesting. Oh, how very interesting.
Damn shit. Oh dear.
Oh, because you're kicking the left side of the door.
Attack incoming!
Oh. Didn't much of the door at all.
The entrance is locked too!
It seems we are in a bit of a predicament.
Even at this point, I found time to get some more extra armor. I think I got rid of that shit.
Oh, you pissed her off now! Maybe you shouldn't have killed her friends. Look at her, so full of scorn and hate. She's just like you, Sunshine.
Like you're any different.
Huh?
Hate is just another crutch for you.
Hey now.
You're in pain, you're lonely, no one likes you. So you try to hide it under violence and hate.
I'm not like that at all.
It's okay.
It is.
Look, I'm the same way. But just realizing that isn't going to help. It's too late for us now. It's too late for everything. We're too far gone, you and me. That's why we...
Strike the beast while it's down.
My friend.
Alright. Here comes the biggest scene. Even though this is technically the second time.
Devila! Popola!
Oh, look. We've been waiting.
Why are you doing this?
It began 1300 years ago. Humanity, finding itself on the brink of extinction, undertook a last-ditch rescue plan called Project Gestalt.
Gestalt?
Do you still not remember, Grimoire Weiss? Then let's give you a refresher.
Weiss! My mind. I remember, Devila. Popola. You are not human. In fact. Oh no.
Yeah, all of us. Every person standing in this room are mere shells created by the true humans.
What are you saying?
You still don't get it? You aren't human.
So then humans, I mean, the true humans, are extinct?
No. They still live on. You know them as shades. Each shade is a twisted remnant of what was once a human being.
Crazy, huh?
Wait.
Sorry, but we're gonna be needing that shell of yours. The rightful owner has been waiting for a very long time. Please don't be angry with us. We are only doing our duty. Our endless existences have a single purpose: to control the lives of others in accordance with the will of the true humans.
Alright, you know what? I wouldn't take the time to read them now. Even in the middle of a boss fight. Because I forgot to read them last time. Project Gestalt Report 923. As noted in the previous report, implementation of Gestalt mode can prevent the white chlorination syndrome we recently experienced. Transfer bodily information to civilization-repressed replicants, is technically what we are. So, yeah, it's in the documents. Is proceeding as planned, with the genes of the originals, which are, in other words, humans, the actual humans, safely stored inside. Our roles as surveillance androids to prepare for when the incurable bacterial disease eventually dies out is also underway. So far, this is proceeding without issue. Observer 21, codename Popola. Project Gestalt Report 9182. This document discusses potential strategies for the relapse cases we have observed in recent years. The term relapse, of course, refers to the catastrophic loss of sentience seen in certain gestalts. The syndrome has defied even our most pessimistic initial estimates and continues to trend upward with disturbing speed. With some relapse gestalts beginning to attack replicants, there is an urgent need to take comprehensive action. We remain convinced that an unknown technological defect in the gestalt transformation process is responsible for the condition, but so far have been unable to confirm this theory. Research of this condition is now our top priority and looks likely to continue for some time. Observer 22, codename Devila. Project Gestalt Report 10432. Shorthand minutes of Case 23, Emergency Response Conference. Committee Special Meeting. Issue: observed upward trend in relapses, noted and discussed. Another issue: acceleration of restoration schedule, approved. Report: debate over using codename Noir, or no, that's, as you can see it on the left side of the images, it's Grimoire Noir, for human restoration schedule. Report: preparations to launch Vice, the coding system for above. Report: order collection of guidance and release codes for Matladius alongside Vice launch. So that was planned. Both of them reported it. There's Yona. Project Gestalt report, 11,242. We have determined that the rise of relapses was due to an unexpected spike in the sentience of replicants, which is, yeah, unintended, and that's what allows us to live, exactly. Because replicants before they take a, well, I guess they don't have a soul still, but they couldn't do anything. They were just actual bodies, in a sense. But since they have gained sentience, they almost, act like humans. So, yeah. As well as a genetic instability within the original Gestalt. It seems the original's effort, otherwise known as the Shadow Lord, on bodies that have undergone the Gestalt process was not anticipated in advance. Immediate action must be undertaken to identify the links between this trend and the original Gestalt, along with its sister, the relapse case known as Yona. The observer contact group is growing uneasy, so finding a solution to the relapse issue should be considered a top priority. See other reports for more details. Reported by Popola. And that is all of the Gestalt reports. Oh, this is the fear of the king. And the advisor, and everyone else. There he is, the original Shadow Lord.
Be careful!
I know! Hey, Sunshine. I ain't certain about this, but I think your heart is evolved. The hate is gone. The sadness is gone. It's just a bunch of white light now. What the hell's going on here?
You can't tell, Tiny. You're not the only voice in my life anymore. I've experienced fear, hate, and no sympathy. I'm a curse, a freak. I know that. But guess what? He still accepts me. He still forgives me.
Oh, come on. You're doing this for him?
I'm tired of this world, and everybody in it. But I'll become his sword one last time.
brother.
Yona. Huh?
Please, just stop. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't need someone else's body. I don't want it. There's another girl inside this body. I can hear her. She won't stop crying. She says she wants to see her brother.
Yona's been possessed?
This girl loves her brother too, just as much as I do. It's not right, you know? It's not right that she can't see him. It's you, isn't it?
Yes, it's me. Let's go home.
I'm really sorry. I don't know what to... I'm so very sorry. No matter what. Just know that... I love you.
Hurry! The shade that possessed her is gone.
Kaine, watch over Yona for me. You want me to understand your sadness? You think I'm gonna sympathize with you? I swore to protect my sister and my friends. If someone puts them in danger, they must stand aside or be cut down. Now come on! Let's finish this!
Yeah, probably shouldn't have skipped that scene for your brown belt. So.
I have something to defend. I have a reason to live. Shadow Lord,
Well, that's why you gotta check out my other streams earlier. On more context that way. But Vice sacrificed himself. evident by the fact that he's not floating around near. He's dead. He died just before, or just after the fight of Devil and Popola. Anyways, to see. All the way back to the prologue.
Here. You can have this cookie.
Don't worry about it, Yona. I'm already full.
This again? That's what you said yesterday. You haven't been eating anything lately. Come on. At least take half.
Thanks.
I told you that I'd be skipping certain cutscenes. I did kind of forget that I didn't want to do that for the at least last bit of the scenes, but
Hey. Thanks for always being there for me. Oh, here. I brought your half.
Thanks, Yona.
so turns out that the original, or Shadow Lord, was human Nier all the way back at the prologue. So, yeah. Anyways, I'll let y'all enjoy the credit scene. At least the soundtrack of it. Don't worry, you'll get more details about it. Kaine, she's fine. For now.
Wow, that was crazy! I can't believe how well my sister's body holds up. Kinda hard to move when you're just ahead. I wonder where everybody is. I can't wait to see them again. But before that can happen, there's some stuff I gotta do first. Like finding a body. Or at least some legs. I sure hope Kaine and Vice haven't killed each other yet. I swear, you leave them alone for 1 minute.
That's Rupee. Yep. So that's why I've been doing all those other side quests in the game. Because in order to get descending, I gotta take all the weapons in the game.